All right, so now we're to step 2, which is going to be what procedure do you follow when you're answering questions? Because this is something that is very important. So listen closely. Right. This is what you do when you're answering questions, okay? This is what you do when you're answering questions. Right. How many formulas do you have for finding number of moles? You have 3. Number of moles is mass over molar mass, okay? So it's mass over AR, or number of moles is mass over MR. Mass, you write it in full. Then you say over AR or mass over MR. Now, what I want you to know is AR and MR, this is molar mass. And whether it's for one or it's for more than one, you get it from the periodic table. You get it from molar mass, you always get it from periodic table. It is the mass in the periodic table. So it will now depend on the formula how you're going to calculate it. Then the other one is number of moles is concentration times volume. But where this one is hard is that concentration is always in moles per dm cubed, but volume is never in dm cubed. So volume should be in dm cubed. But what you know is you'll be given in cm cubed. What you must know is that volume in dm cubed, the one that you want, is equal to volume in cm cubed. Volume in cm cubed divided by 1,000. Then now you're going to have your volume in dm cubed, and you can use it in formula number 2. So when you're doing your questions, you list the 3 formulas. That's the first step. The third formula is going to be at RTP. To get number of moles is going to be your volume in dm cubed divided by 24 dm cubed. So don't look at this like a magazine. This is not a magazine article. You should be able to write these formulas alone without looking at my work. You should be able to write it. At RTP, you should know that it's volume in dm cubed divided by 24 dm cubed. Then you're going to have the number of moles at RTP, as long as you're at RTP. Now, what I want you to know is that there are steps that are followed when you're answering a question. And these steps should not be broken, or else you can never find number of moles. Now, listen to these steps. The first time, okay, first time you are asked to find number of moles, N, okay, which is the same as saying number of moles. The first time that you're asked to find the number of moles, okay, the first time that they ask you to find number of moles, you must use one of the 3 formulas. Remember, we have 3 formulas that I've just given you, and these 3 formulas are used to find number of moles. So the first time they're going to ask you to find number of moles, you choose a formula there that is related to the information that you have been given in the question. That's the very first time. The second time that they then ask you to find number of moles, then you must use ratios. So the fourth way of finding number of moles is ratios. Okay, use ratios in the equation. This is the fourth way of finding number of moles, and you always use it the second time they ask you to find. So they're going to help you find moles of one thing, then they'll ask you to find moles of the second thing, and in the second step you use ratios. You're going to use ratios. Now, in the third thing, the third calculation, now you are going to be asked to find something that is not moles. I'm not a prophet, but I've seen it a lot, and I know it's going to happen this way. The third calculation, remember, they ask you to find number of moles 2 times. The first time is a formula. The second time you find number of moles, don't use a formula, please. Don't use the 3 formulas. They don't work. The second time you're finding moles in any past paper question, use ratios. I'm going to teach you how to. You don't use a formula for the second time that you're going to find N. Number of moles. Don't use the formula. Use ratios. Don't use any formula, please. You will be in trouble if you do it. You don't use any formula. Now, the third calculation is going to ask you for mass or volume or concentration or something. Third calculation will not be for moles. The third calculation will not be for moles, but you are going to use one of the formulas again. But these formulas are for moles. No, you can rearrange. You can rearrange these formulas and they can help you to find something else. Yes, I know they are for moles, but you can rearrange them. So in the third step, you are going to again use one of the three formulas. But only after rearranging. Only after rearranging. So the three formulas work in the first calculation and in the third calculation. This is not a negotiation. Please make sure you've heard me loud and clear. Then we're going to go to do questions. This is the secret to moles. The secret to moles is the fact that you have three formulas. You use the formula in the first calculation. You don't use the formula in the second calculation for moles. And you use the formula in the third one that actually will not ask you for moles. But you're going to have to choose one of the three formulas again. So you list the three formulas in the first step, you choose one. Then you list the three formulas in the third step, and you're going to choose one. Then you apply. Unless they're asking you for the percentage yield. Let's now put that as the last thing. The last thing, which is the fourth thing that everybody should just know, is that percentage yield is equal to actual yield divided by theoretical. By the way, the word yield just means mass. So actual yield or mass divided by theoretical yield, which is the mass again, then you multiply by 100%. This is how you get percentage yield. We're going to do these calculations in the next question. I hope you've written this down. I hope you've mastered where it's going to be difficult. Now we'll meet in the next video.